I don't know about you, but I don't want to cut each letter on embroidery appliques, especially these small letters. So here's a trick. Use your Cricut or Silhouette Cameo cutter to cut each small letter. Here's how you do it. If you're already familiar with embroidery or your embroidery software, ensure your file's outlined stitch is stitched separately and all the colors are stitched separately. Your first stitching will be all of your outline. So be sure and do your outline of all your letters first, and that's what this machine is doing now. Now's the time to cut your fabric for the size of your cutting mat and then put the heat and bond on the back of your fabric. I always like to take my fabric and ensure I have the exact 12 by 12 or a little over. Make sure you put your heating bond on the back of your fabric. You'll iron the heating bond and then peel the white backing off the back of your fabric to reveal the shiny heating bond. Take your Cricut or Silhouette cutting mat and place the fabric on your cutting mat. Make sure your fabric is adhered to your cutting mat and take it to your cutting printer. I'm using Cameo 3 cutter and a 12 by 12 cutting mat. Place the cutting mat into your cutter. After putting your material into your cutter, we'll then go to the computer and I'll show you how to take your embroidery file and then separate each your cutting items into your SVG file to put into your cutting software. Go into your brilliance, into the design, and ensure to select color sort. So now you have a outline file, the tack down file, and the set stitch file. Highlight the outline file and select the thread option. You'll want to select the applique position tab. Once in the applique position tab, select position. And here on the right side, you'll see where you can make the actual position of each letter a little larger to overlap or keep it at the way it is. I like to keep it the centimeters the way they are so they butt up against the outline stitch perfectly. Click Save and it'll ask you if you want to save it. You want to save into that format. If you're using a Cameo, it worked fine from the Silhouette Cameo. So now you want to open up your cutting software. Click File, Merge, and find the file you just saved and bring it into your cutting software. I did make a copy so I can have 2 on each sheet and try to use as much of the 12 by 12 mat as possible. So in the cutting software, you'll want to click the cutting area, select fabric, and you'll want it to increase your speed. I increased mine about 9, so because that way if you don't, it doesn't cut as well. So you want to increase your speed as much as possible. And I also increased my blade depth by one more notch. And I sent it to my cutter. So now it'll cut each letter of your design. Okay, so after you take your fabric that has been cut from your Cameo, you just peel it just like you would vinyl. And here is your cut letters of fabric. So here's my cut letters of fabrics. And then basically what I'll do is I will put them, after I embroider my tack down stitch, I will basically put them like a puzzle on the fabric. So now I have my outline stitch on my sweatshirt. You can barely see it. So I take my first letter, which is the J, and I basically put it in its puzzle piece right in the outline of the J on the fabric. And I take my new little small heater, which is perfect for small spaces, and just barely tap it, really, just to make sure it's secure just for this short time period. Because once I have all the letters down, then I'll use my big iron and make sure that all of the letters are down. This R didn't cut very well. You notice that? And so I had to put that one on the machine individually and have it do its actual outline and tack down separately and cut it out by hand. But you would do this for each and every letter of your design. Now you can skip the tack down stitch and go straight into your final stitch. For this order, it was a full satin stitch over each and every letter. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye!